Hey everybody, it is me, Chasey Poo, and today I have a guest.
Hi, my name is Adam. Nice to meet you.
Ooh, what are we talking about today?
So, today we're talking about how to navigate being LGBT in North Africa and the Middle East, because I am originally North African actually. I'm Algerian and I'm trans. Hi, in case you couldn't tell.
Hi!
I'm trans. So yeah, how do you navigate that? 'Cause
Right.
technically, if you're in a gay relationship or whatever, your relationship is illegal. How do you live with that?
Honestly, as
You
somebody
know.
from North America, from Canada my whole life, I know that this is something that goes on. And I've known this for years, because we do talk about it during Pride Month. Not enough, but
You
it is,
do.
well, during the parade, it's like, you talked about, like, it's illegal to be gay in this, and it's just like one little
know,
float.
yeah.
So it is kind of mentioned, but it's not something that is talked about enough where we actually do something about it and like...
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I wish they would, but in the same time, I'm like, my people, when they leave, they just want to be stealth and live a normal life because
Right.
they're too traumatized. So I kind of was like, someone has to do this. That's when I stepped in and I was like, I'll talk about this.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm building a bridge between both, you know, because when they come here, they just get too westernized or isolate themselves or whatever and they live. But I want to build the bridge to
Right.
be able to help people that are still in that situation. This is important.
It is. No, it's ridiculous.
You can go ahead and ask because I feel like people in the Western countries, it's like it's a sensitive topic. They know it's not a happy place to be, but
Right.
they're too shy to ask questions. They don't want to get there.
Right.
They're afraid to offend anybody
Right.
or whatever. But I'm like, at least like try, you know.
Right,
So
okay.
feel free to ask whatever, and I'll tell you the real deal of what is happening there,
Right.
rather than the media.
Okay, so let's just jump into it. So, is it legal where you come from to be trans and to transition?
Algeria, it's not illegal to be trans
Okay.
because it's not recognized, so we don't talk about it.
Oh.
But it's illegal to have same-sex sexual,
Yeah.
activity, let alone marriage and whatever. We don't talk. About
Yeah.
that. No.
That's not even a thing.
No, not
Damn.
now, honey. But with that, it gets to like up to 3 years in prison, and you have to pay like a penalty.
Damn.
If you are caught in a same-sex activity. But it's complicated because these laws are not really being, applied.
Yeah.
So they're there, so you're scared that they can be applied, but they're not.
Right.
So anyone can use them against you at any point. Because I'm into girls, so technically, legally, I'm female.
Right.
You see there's a little conflict here because I'm illegal without having to mention being trans.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
What is the, maybe not easiest, but like most easiest country in the Middle East, North Africa, to be trans and that it is recognized to be trans? Do you know any of that?
Yes, indeed. Well, Egypt might not be the friendliest, but they have discovered that they need to find a middle ground with trans people. So they created the system when they have a therapist, a religious leader,
Right.
and a doctor. So this is the process of being trans. So you go to the therapist, he recognizes that you have dysphoria, and then you get approved by the religious leader, which I think whatever, they found their own middle ground, just go for it. And then, I know, but you get approved by them, I'm like, whatever, and then they send you to the doctor, you get your surgeries or whatever you want, and
Right.
they legally help you to transition, because
Okay.
once you like transition in Sibon, they have to make you legally transition as well. in that
Interesting.
case. Yeah, and Lebanon is very friendly. Lebanon is way more open-minded with gay people as well. Technically, it's still considered illegal, but it's not being applied whatsoever, and people can be more out there.
Right.
Yeah, it's way safe. Beirut was way more safe.
Interesting. So, I have heard, and I'm sure that some people who are watching this video have also heard this in the past, that there's something with Iran. Iran. There's something with Iran
There's
where...
a lot with
There's
Iran.
a lot with Iran where
yeah.
you can be trans, but you can't be gay.
Here's
So,
the thing.
Yeah.
But these people, when they say this, it's mostly religiously influenced, because religion can be seen from different aspects. Because they found, back to Egypt, they found a version of Islam that accepts trans people, and they're like, this is cool. Yeah, so they're like, this is halal, to be trans and transition. They found their own way. And with Iran, it's kind of the same way, as in it is so binary. So if you're gay and you're more femme, you most likely will have to transition to be a woman. You know what I mean?
You're saying have to.
Yes,
What do
have
you
to.
mean?
You're a gay man. You're identifying as male, but they will want to make you transition to female because they don't accept same-sex relationships. One of them has to be the woman.
Which I knew that
It's scary. It's crazy. I don't know how this law is being applied, but
yeah, like how do they?
I don't know, but at least for trans people, they can transition.
Right.
But for gay people, it's a weird place to be.
No, it's
They're very low key. Yeah.
Well, what about trans people who are gay? Like, what if a trans guy like?
yeah. What
then,
about
like,
those?
Yo, then
Yeah.
did the other person detransit?
No,
someone else
they don't-
transition?
they're-
I know, I'm kidding.
They're not.
But
on that level.
no,
Yeah.
but it's. So I
It's
knew
crazy.
that happened where they kind of force you because they don't want a gay relationship. They're like, nah, someone needs to transition, so they like, make
Yeah.
you go through all of these procedures so that you could be a woman. But I never thought about it. Like, what if you're already in a relationship? And that's what we were talking about right before we started this video.
Exactly.
Like that to me is just like you're in a relationship, two cis men together, and then like you can't be this. One of you has to be the woman. One of you
Exactly.
has to choose.
Yep.
And
Actually,
then-
this version made more sense to me because they were like, because they want to define it as the traditional marriage
Right.
that they do, you know. So no same-sex relationships, but if one transitions, that's okay. It's wild.
It's like heads or tails. Who's gonna transition?
Yeah.
Like the fuck.
I don't know how far they're forcing people to do this, but
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah.
And in terms of religion, does everyone in the Middle East and North Africa believe in the same thing and all of their values and maybe
No.
reason why they're like
Yeah.
transphobic or like trans people rooted in that?
it's actually wild because I'm agnostic, so I'm non-religious, but I was born raised culturally Muslim technically.
You do this
Which
a
is
lot.
I know because
culturally.
culturally
Right.
I know everything is a keyword there.
It's because you're like, this isn't real. The
This
West.
isn't real. It's
Yeah.
what you think.
Yeah.
But for real, like people think everyone is Muslim in North Africa,
Right.
Middle East. People think everyone is Arab in North Africa, Middle East.
Right.
None of them is true.
Interesting.
So not rare. Actually, Arab people are mostly in Middle East around like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain. But Egyptian people have another origin, and there's a lot of Armenians in Syria. Whatever, we're not even gonna get to history right now, but not today.
Not today.
So a lot of people change their religion. There's a lot of Christians. There's Jews as well. There's Jews Algerians. A lot of them ended up going to Israel, to France. But there are Algerians who are Jews, Moroccans too. So no, we're not all the same.
Right.
And it gets crazy because it's still Muslim dominated law-wise.
Right.
So they still want to apply it on you even if you don't believe in it, and that's the crazy part to me.
Oh.
And I'm like, no.
Maybe that's why a lot of people assume that everyone's Muslim in that area of the world.
Like law-wise, they want to amplify it and like force it in, but it's slowly changing. Oh, it's changing so much.
So the like idea that everyone in the Middle East and North Africa is Muslim and believes in this and is transphobic and you can't transition is not right.
It's not.
And does it work with like some countries believe in certain things and certain people believe in other things and it kind of correlates with how open they are with being trans and not being trans?
Some countries, yes, like Lebanon, for instance, it is more open-minded, but I think our societies in general, even though we're not all Arab, we're not all Muslim, the way we were raised and brought up is very similar. The things we were watching, everything is very similar. We have a lot in common.
Right.
So our people are formed very similarly. And the thing about it is, you can, in some aspects, be gay and live a happy life there, but it all depends on your family. That's where it comes. Because there are families that are very open-minded, accepting of their kids.
Which is awesome.
I know, amazing. We need more of you.
Yes, please.
Living there. So it depends on which family you come from, period, and your class.
Right, yes.
That determines everything. Mm-mm. If you're rich and gay there, you're still gonna be safe. You're gonna have your life together. There is actually a lot of gay singers in Algeria, and everybody knows they're gay. We don't talk about it, but we know.
Oh.
You know, there is a lot of things, and there is even LGBT history in MENA region. But again, this is not talked about.
That's interesting. Not that I'm trying to relate this or correlate this to the United States, but it's like a lot of people knew that certain actors and actresses were gay, but it was never talked about.
Yes, it's that phase.
Yeah, they were never, and then like slowly
Yeah.
started to come out, like Ricky Martin. Everyone knew he was gay, and then like right, and then like he says it once, and it's like, well, obviously we knew, but we couldn't.
I know, like, but like it's not talked about, because it's still taboo.
Right, but in the U.S. and Canada, I think it's more of it'll ruin your image, and not that you won't be safe, but you'll lose all of your jobs.
At least back in the day, yeah.
Right, and then is that similar in the Middle East, North Africa?
It's very much like that. Something, not just you being gay or trans, even being associated with can ruin your career.
Right.
So that's when, to me, it was a little weird, and I still respected that I work, because I studied journalism, so working with people that didn't want, it's sad, that didn't want to be seen with me, I still understood it, because I'm like, I don't want anybody to get in trouble.
Yeah.
That was controversial.
Because
I also was criticizing religion and stuff, so...
You like to poke the bear, huh?
I know, because I'm like, why are you ruining my life?
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. What about safety? That's a big one.
Yeah, that is a big
one. But,
one.
like, safety in terms of, like, is there something, like, legit in the religion that says if you're gay, we'll kill you? Is there something in the law? What is it regarding safety to be gay or trans in the Middle East, North Africa?
I think it's more of the mindset, because religion, again, Islam has so many different sections, so many different versions, and everyone will want to believe with the one that they want to believe in, you know?
Right.
So the open-minded Muslims that I have, that are my friends, that are my mom, are still accepting, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what they want to believe, that God is love and all that. But some people will still want to believe the very strict versions or different. There's just a lot to choose from. There are some versions of Islam that do say that you should throw gay people from higher buildings.
Oh.
And that's what they did.
Oh, God.
And they did that in the last year in Iraq, which was scary.
Jesus.
You know, because we have a little problem with religion. We have to do like Europe did, but we're still not quite there. Like, we have to put human before religion, but we're not there. And regarding safety, it's always more dangerous when you're visible. Always.
Right.
Visible, you can't even walk outside. You can get harassed. I used to be very like androgynous looking when I was like pretty, you know, that phase.
Of course.
That phase.
You either look like a 12-year-old boy or you're like a lesbian or like you don't really know what's going on. Femme guy. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Because I used to be read a lot as like a gay guy. So that's
dangerous.
That is.
Right.
That's crazy. That's even more dangerous than being read as trans. Because it's the femininity that like pokes, that triggers it, you know? Femininity in men. It's always back to that. It's toxic masculinity that's ruining us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything with a hint of femininity associated with men and masculinity.
Because here is the thing. Oh my god. So personally, I feel like trans men there are more accepted than trans women. And they're more accepted than femme gay guys. Anything that is with that touch, you know?
When you say around there,
trans guys,
where
MENA region, North Africa, Middle East, because we have very similar mindsets. This is still a generalization, but society-wise, you would agree, okay? Like,
that's so interesting. So you feel that trans men are being...
Especially if they fit the binary, you know?
Right, like beard, masculinity.
Yes.
Right, so they are more respected and more like, it's okay.
It's whatever.
It's whatever.
We have others, you know, the femmes.
Okay, so trans women are...
Ooh, yes, because they're visible too.
Right,
so,
yeah,
but they're very influential there too.
Influential? Like they influence others?
Yeah, because they're visible, and sometimes that visibility pushes you to do something for the community because you have no other choice.
It must be super dangerous to be a trans woman.
It is.
Just like it is in North America. In Brazil, let's not even go there, but that is just ridiculous.
I know, but I think it all falls down to that point, you know?
Yeah.
So is that femininity in what they expect to be male-related that makes them so sensitive, so angry, you know? Okay,
so tough question right here. It's going to be a hard one. Because I don't know if you know this, but in the United States, in North America, in Brazil, there are a lot of trans women who get murdered.
Yes.
And a lot of the stories are there's straight trans women that are like going after whatever straight cis guys.
I heard that narrative.
Does that make sense?
Okay, you mean trans women that are running after cis guys?
Well, so it's trans women who, you know, have transitioned, who are attracted to men, and they might not necessarily tell the person that they're trans. And then that may cause a lot of violence towards
Yeah.
them, unfortunately.
That's scary. That's
Does
a
that
scary place to
happen
be. Of course it
a
does.
lot?
Oh my god, it happens even without being in a relationship with somebody.
Right.
If they know you're trans women and you're visible, you're fucked. You're
target.
gonna get harassed, you know?
Yeah.
It's not safe to walk outside and to be where the people are. Again, that's why I told class matters.
Right.
Because if you have a car, if you navigate it in that lifestyle, you're not gonna be affected
Right.
that much.
But if you're like lower class,
if
poor,
you're-
no
yeah.
car, and you're trying to transition, and
I
people
know.
are like,
I was middle class, I was a f***ing joke, let's be honest. Nobody took me seriously and I was an easy target for everybody.
right. But if you were a higher class, more rich, it would have been like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people would be down to be around me for that matter. Because for some people they would look past it. It's complicated.
That's
I know.
so interesting.
I know. Class plays a big role indeed.
See, I thought I knew things about North Africa, Middle East, and transition.
Same. It surprises me each time.
It's way more complicated than this video could
Yes.
ever go into.
But I have to say that I try to look at everyone's angles because me being out there, I was
Right.
reached out to by so many trans guys, trans women, gay, lesbian, bi, pan, non-binary people that are from.
Oh my god.
I know, that are
Yo,
from
you give me
non-communities.
goosebumps. I can't even
I
imagine
know, and I
being
hear everyone's
non-binary.
stories, and this is what I recollected from the things we have in common in
Okay.
our stories.
Right.
Because if someone tells you, no, I didn't have any problem, where did you live? Didn't you live in that bougie neighborhood?
Yeah.
Didn't you have that? Stop it.
I mean, that happens here too, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it was so easy for me to transition. Well, were your parents acceptable?
think about
yeah,
it.
they accepted me, they paid for everything. Well, that's great compared to somebody who
Exactly.
is homeless and can't afford anything and has no support. There is a difference, even though you come from the same place.
Exactly, and the lower class trans women, that's when they started the revolution because the oppression.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay, last question,
Last
because you
question.
just brought that up. Has there ever been a huge gay LGBT trans revolution act of defiance in anywhere in North Africa or the Middle East that you can think of? Because I can't think of anything.
I don't think I can
Okay.
either. But when they happen, it's mostly directed towards something like, let's file a case because we want to be able to change our legal papers.
Okay.
Some specific people from the communities there, because there are LGBT, organizations there and everything, but they're very low key.
Right.
We work as a community. That's why I'm not gonna lie, when I came here, I felt a little weirded out by the community here. I was like, what is this?
How come?
Because there, everyone is so not attached, but very protective of each other. We have that community sense,
Not here.
And here it's very racialized.
Yeah.
It's very
Yes.
odd.
I know.
I know.
We're-
It's crazy, which is a thing that everyone needs to keep in mind, expectations when you come here. Because I know a lot of people from MENA region that are LGBT just want to leave. You just want to leave. I know, and I have been there. And you can make it if you believe in it strongly enough. I seeked asylum.
Right.
And I was sent here. I didn't know I was gonna end up here, but you just gotta keep pushing in. That's it. You just have to find your own way of survival. You create it. We invent ways that people don't think about. Ways of safety, how to navigate it, how to navigate public spaces. Me, my friends back home, we're gonna hang out in that place. I'm not coming to that neighborhood. It's dangerous for me.
Yeah.
So I go to places that I know are safe for me.
You look out for each other.
Yes.
And you find ways to not cheat the system, but we can do
Yes.
this. We've had to do
Yes,
that.
exactly.
All trans people have to do that, you know?
They
but
do.
oh
They
my
still
god.
meet. LGBT people
Right.
there still meet. They find their ways. We're meeting at this place that
Right.
time. It's wild.
So I guess one more question. I lied about the other one. Because I'm really curious. Would you go back?
Oh my god, this is one of my
know.
most asked
Well, you know what?
questions.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Because people want to know. Would you go back?
I would go back when I will have in 2 years my Canadian passport and it's gonna be changed to male. Nobody can harass me. Nobody can nothing can happen to me because these things happen to locals
Right.
and citizens. Yeah, which is crazy.
Can you change your gender marker in Algeria?
No.
Can you change your name?
No. Not for trans reasons, at least. Not for trans reasons. Not that I know of.
Right.
So, coming as a Canadian citizen, nobody's gonna mess with me. That was my plan from
Right.
being back home. I was like, I will come back to Algeria at some point. I'm there. I'm broke. I had no plan. I was
Right.
like, I'm leaving. And one day I'll come back with another passport and I'll be protected in my country, unfortunately. But I have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's... And would you go in any other place in North Africa, Middle East?
I want to. This is my goal and
Yeah,
my
like
dream.
traveling.
Like, I want to so bad
Mhm.
because we hear about them on TV, we see, but then I have only been to Tunisia, that's all. I want to be everywhere, Lebanon, I want to go, but then safety first, always. It's a trauma that most people don't even get over. They just push it to the corner.
Yeah, no,
But
you
I
can't
just
really go to
had to-
therapy if you come here and you have all this trauma and you're going to go
Mhm.
see a therapist that's from here
I know,
that
I
does
know.
not understand the type of trauma that you've been
Yeah.
through. Yeah, I'm sure you could work through some of it, but there's certain things that a person won't really, unless they're also
Yeah.
from there and they've experienced it
Yeah,
as well.
meditation. You
Yeah.
have to find your own ways to heal. It's
Yeah.
so hard, but you got this.
Yeah. And do you want to travel for traveling, or do you want to be an activist when you travel to the North African, Middle East area?
I like to help. I want to bring in new perspectives. I want to change the situation there completely.
Okay.
But I don't feel comfortable with the label activist personally.
Okay.
Because I'm like, no, I'm just a person that wants to help. I'm
Yes,
not an activist.
absolutely, I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the word activist comes with so many different.
I feel like it's a
it's
a big label
it's a very
for me.
loaded word because
It is.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh.
so interesting. I feel like we could make 13 parts of this video.
Indeed.
Like so many
Jesus.
things. What's a question that you get often about being?
How do you leave?
How do you leave?
How do you leave?
How did
That's
you-
the first question that people ask
Oh,
me.
well, how do you leave? Seriously,
I don't know.
because you're
my
like, I
God.
don't know.
Okay. You know what's the craziest thing about this? Imagine being LGBT there. You're rejected by society,
Right.
and it's a mess. And then you want to leave. Visas are almost impossible. They're hard unless you're of a certain class, unless you have that much
Oh
of money.
my god.
So what I told my roommates yesterday, actually, people like me don't make it this far. It just happened.
Right.
But
They
with
stay?
my class, they can't make it out. It's hard. And keep in mind, even Canada rejected 86% of student visas from Algeria. Student visas. I know people that were some of these people. I know, it's wild. So you can't leave and the visa is hard.
What the
because
fuck,
then,
Canada?
No, let me tell you. Because then again, people here, they're like, we have to be very tight with the immigration, which I understand, and visas. But then we just fall behind because we're the ones that need help. We're not the ones that they are scared of. You know, because they categorize us all as
Of
this
course.
scary thing,
Yeah,
but we're
yeah.
like, save us.
Yeah.
You know, but Canada is still doing its best when it comes to asylum and accepting people. Canada more than anything. USA, we're not talking.
Don't
to you.
even go there.
Yeah, we're not talking to USA,
No.
but Canada did get a lot of LGBT asylum seekers
Yes.
from in our region.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. And
USA.
USA, no.
No.
Was Algeria one of the countries that was on the ban list?
No.
No, okay, I was just
because
wondering.
there's no war, there's nothing going on. But yeah, I told you it's the craziest thing
Oh,
because.
God, man, it hurts.
You
to
want to
hear these.
leave, but you can't leave, but your society... Because it was heartbreaking being there when people heard me talking about trans issues. I was very out, and they're like, leave. You don't belong here.
You're like, I want to leave.
I'm like, same. But it sucks because it's my country, and I'm still attached to the culture, and I really
Yeah.
love it. And I see it from how it is, really, not what they made it.
Right.
So it sucks to not belong there, but then you want to come here, and they're like, yeah, but I made it because well planned.
How do you feel being in Canada?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal, period. It's still unreal to me till now. Till, like, we're talking, I'm still
Right.
like, am I here?
Yeah. Oh, when did you come here? How long
I
ago?
came here June 2018.
Okay.
So that was last year.
Last year.
It's amazing. It's everything I have pictured it to be, and there is a big Algerian community here, actually.
Oh.
And getting to them and even being out as trans with them here, it's okay, and they're accepting. I know, but these are the Algerians that left Algeria for
Well,
the
yeah.
same reasons because they're like
I can't deal with this.
with the mindset, yeah.
Right. Interesting.
So it's so heartwarming when you meet people here, like from my culture, that are so accepting.
And that are not trans, right?
And
So
they're
you're-
not trans. They're
right.
cis and they're very accepting.
Ah.
I'll tell you just this story. When I was at Pride, I was wearing the Algerian flag,
Right.
which is a responsibility. I was kind of like, oh, let's not die today.
Right.
This random Algerian woman came up to me and hugged me as and she was like, oh my god, do your thing, walk in Pride, you know, represent.
Oh.
She was like, you know what, I'm not even gay, I'm like straight, but I'm here to support you. You know, don't listen to them, pay them no mind. And I was like, you know, so cute. I know.
That is cute, because one speck of
It means a lot,
representation
yeah.
means so much to so many people.
God, especially when it's people from my culture that support me which are rare.
Right.
I appreciate it always. It hits deeper.
Yeah. Well, this was a really heavy but really important topic.
It really was.
I really want to say thank you for answering some of the hard questions that some people might not even be comfortable asking or even answering, right? So
yeah, thank you for having me. This is very important. I hope it helps whoever is watching.
I hope so as well. And are you somebody that people can reach if they need to speak to somebody?
Yeah, I guess you can reach out to me. I have some resources at least here for asylum and stuff.
Yeah.
Organizations that I know of. So I can at least drop those to you and
I'll put those in the description and
hit me up Instagram. I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel that you guys can check out, and I'm also more active on Instagram. So hit me up there with whatever questions you have, and I'll try to help as much as I can.
Yes. Yeah. So hopefully that does help a little bit.
Fingers crossed.
But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is crazy. This is a dream come true.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.